May is Asian Heritage Month, and registered dietitian Michelle Jaelin is busting some of the biggest myths about Asian food. Let's start with MSG.
Yes, let's talk about MSG, also known as monosodium glutamate. Now, glutamate is actually an amino acid, like a compound, that's found in so many foods. And actually, when you think of your taste receptors, you have sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. Now, umami is that savory taste, and it's actually equivalent to what glutamate is.
Okay.
So when you get that nice savory taste. Now, it's in a lot of different foods.
And it's naturally occurring.
It is naturally occurring.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And it's in so many foods naturally occurring too. Some of the foods I have here, mushrooms, you can get that umami taste, like that MSG flavor. Tomatoes, Parmesan cheese, seaweed, chips, it's added in chips and stuff too. And also in things like anchovies and seafood. This is what MSG looks like when it is combined.
Okay, so right here.
Yep, that is glutamate combined with sodium to make MSG. And it's just a flavor enhancer. It actually has 1/3 less sodium than regular salt.
And so many people say, oh, I avoid Chinese food, for example.
Yes.
Because of the MSG.
That's right.
Well, you should also then be avoiding all kinds of other foods. And you say that MSG is present in breast milk.
It is, yes. Naturally occurring glutamate is in breast milk. So when mummies are feeding their babies, the baby is getting glutamate naturally anyways.
So where does this come from? Is it deep-seated in racism?
Yes, so in the 1960s, when there was a lot of anti-Asian racism and sentiment, then people started saying they were getting something called Chinese restaurant syndrome when they went to go eat out at different restaurants. But that's what started this whole thing. And the studies done on MSG are really poorly done studies. And a lot of them are just based on anecdotes. It's just people telling stories about their experiences. And so that's how that started. But it's a myth that has to die about Asian food.
Okay, and we're here to dispel this. Also here to dispel myths about soy.
Soy, yes, I heard a lot of myths about soy, saying things like it's bad for your hormones, it's for men shouldn't have it because it affects male fertility, things like if you have a thyroid problem, you shouldn't have it, and breast cancer, all these things. Now, all of those are false. Soy is a perfectly safe food. It's also not a bland food. It's a very good food. It's made from these soybeans here, and they're actually mostly grown in Ontario. In fact, 2/3 of soybeans are actually made in Ontario, produced here, making them the leading producer of soybeans in all of Canada.
Shout out to my cousin Katie, her and her husband Adam. They produce like huge amounts of soybeans near Sarnia.
And most people don't know, like really high quality, nutritious soybeans come out of Ontario, and they're used to make all these food products that we love. So like soy beverage, miso, soy sauce, and both here locally, but also shipped around the world, where about half of them are shipped out for people to enjoy internationally, because we're actually known for a lot of our great soybean products that can be made from these actual really high quality soybeans.
Okay, okay. And you actually have your favorite way of...
Yes. So I always hear that tofu is a bland food, and it is not.
Yeah.
It is like
tofu is
made from soybeans.
Based.
Yes,
Okay.
it is made from soybeans. Like it's technically a curd, like a bean curd, which is what my Chinese dad calls it. So what I did here was you just take some firm tofu. I put it in cornstarch. Cornstarch is perfectly safe as well, also locally grown, which is a interesting fact. And then what I did was just fried it in the pan here on each side until it's nice. And the
cornstarch just stops it from sticking together, right?
It does that, but that's a good question. It also helps create a nice crust on the outside, so it's crunchy on the outside and it's soft on the inside. And so when it's done, it looks like this. And honestly, just like any other protein, I just have like a teriyaki sauce that I made myself, or you can just buy it. I just top it with some sauce there, and then I top it with some sesame seeds, serve it with some brown rice and some vegetables, and it's a nice, nutritious meal. And you know, just like any other protein, like chicken, beef, fish, it takes on whatever flavor you put in it. So not bland, very delicious, nutritious, and a complete protein as well.
Any other myths you want to dispel?
A lot of people say that Chinese food is not healthy. Now, a lot of that comes from if you get any takeout food, whether it's pizza or wings, it's always hamburgers. It's always going to be higher in fat and sodium and sugar and whatnot. So if you make food at home like this too, it's perfectly safe. It's just that if we get takeout food, it's not the healthiest. So it gets that stigma of being unhealthy and bad for you when it's actually totally fine. You know, you can get bok choy that's really nutritious and healthy and lasts very long, and it's a great vegetable to have on the side.
Okay, you've done such a great job on your social media about dispelling these myths, and you are, you know,
Thank you.
You know what you're talking about. You're a registered dietitian.
That's right.
You've got the science behind it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So we get all those links up on our website at chch.com, and you also have. Did you bring dragon fruit for me to try?
I
Or
did.
is that, that's
I
all?
brought it. I'm going to bring you dry. It's really delicious. I'm so excited for you to try it.
Okay, that's awesome. So we got some great recipes. We'll get that recipe up on our website as well. And thanks for doing what you've done.
Thank you so much for having me, Annette.
Okay.